What's going on, guys and gals? Doc Jock here, up $1,900 in the first hour of trading today. Really nice day. Got to do a lot of trades actually. So let's get right into it. There's a lot to cover. So my first trade was PYDS. This one was on the gap scanner. That's why I was watching it. And this was what I call the red to green move. So a lot of times these stocks that are gapping up, they'll sell off out of the open. Here's that 930 candle right here, and you can see it just sold off. And what I like to do is I like to play the first 1 minute candle over candle after the sell-off out of the open if a stock had gapped up. So I'll wait for this thing to sell off. It could sell off for, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 minutes. I don't know. But the very first time we get candle over candle, where one of the candles breaks the high of the previous candle, I'll buy that, looking for a bit of a pop. So in this case, that was right here. So I bought, that's not what I wanted. Let's try that again. That was right, I don't know why it's like giving it to me. Right there. Okay, hard to see. But we were inside this candle, waiting for it to break this. I buy, and it pops up. That's what I was looking for. I don't make a ton of profit on this one, but it was a small win, and I'm happy for the trade. Long PYDS 183. Little red to green move there.
PYDS.
Alright, shorted LITE 6098.
Pre-market high is 202, and right now it's kind of right at the 200 moving average.
And I'm out. Oh my gosh, my fill. My fill. +1, and then it pops. So this next trade is MTCH. This is the matched group, match.com. Yesterday they had some really bad news that, well, not really bad news for them, but Facebook is seemingly going to enter into their enter in as competition. The stock yesterday dropped about 22% off of that news, and I thought that was kind of overdone. So it was already down a good bit in the morning, and I was kind of waiting for this thing to bottom out and actually start going back up. There was a lot of companies coming out positive on the name for Match.com, saying it's not going to be easy for Facebook to just waltz into this group, this sector. So anyway, I was just kind of looking for a little bit of people buying this massive dip here. And so out of the open, I was watching it. As you can see, it sold off, spiked down, but popped back up. And this right here, this move told me that it was reversing. It was done going down for the time being anyway. So it popped with the VWAP. So now walking through here, I didn't see all that. I'm just looking for, the first 1 minute candle over candle, and I got a little bit of a head fake. We had like a little pullback candle here, a candle that didn't make a new low. You can kind of see it was this candle made a new low here. This one did not. This one did make another low. It went candle under candle. The low here is 35.42. The low here is 35.39, and it didn't really spike down. So I was like, okay, this might be the pivot candle for another leg up here. Kind of like a stair step up. And I see a little bit of volume coming in. I'm thinking, okay, now's the time. And I go long. It doesn't go candle over candle. In fact, more sellers come in, and it stops me out on the flush out right here.
And then the rest at 950. So total profit.
So we're getting another 1 minute candle under candle, and it really didn't do anything on MTCH.
That recent reverse split
See if this 9 minute moving average holds, which it is.
Similar,
so over 48 right now would be an entry.
Just passed 20 million U.S. subscribers, announces plans to offer advertising in live TV in Q1.
All right, I'm in at 42, 35.42. Stop loss is going to be 40 right now.
That was the one I was comfortable adding on
goes,
because
but
I
if it
first
doesn't,
got into
it's only 2
850.
cents.
So when I added at 950, I was already up $1 per share. right? So those are the times that I'm going to say, all right, I'm already up so much, it's worth adding. Adding when I'm only up 10 cents
All
is
right,
not.
stopped out. Didn't work out. Going candle or candle. So got a little bit of a head fake there on that play. So I waited about a minute and I finally got what I was looking for. You know, the next stair step up, and that's kind of what the move happened here. And all I was looking for is, you know, like I said, the keys that kind of tipped me off that this thing was going to try higher, right? Flushed out of the open, spiked down, and then came back up. Like it broke the stair tread. If you know, if this is like a stair tread here, right? You got your step down, step down. Okay, this is like a stair tread. Normally, a stock is going to do this, right? And just keep walking down. In this case, it spiked down and then it started to, gosh, stair tread up. All right, this is kind of key here, that this level is higher than this level. You know, that's telling me it wants to reverse for the time being anyway. So anyway, with that in mind, I'm looking for an entry on this thing, and the entry would be the 1 minute candle over candle. And I got that right here. Let's go back to this, get rid of the rest of these. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. I got that on this next candle, and the high was 35.47. So, you know, I'm inside this candle here, waiting for 35.47 to break. I'm going to buy. My idea is that at least we're going to get to the VWAP. If we break the VWAP, maybe get to 36. If we get to 36, maybe we just get some mad volume coming in. What happens is it does pop up, breaks the VWAP, gets to 36. I sell half right around here, and I'm thinking we're going to go high a day. And right here, I put a stop right below. I think I put it right, you know, right below this candle's low. Market maker flushed me out and then popped it back up, and I stopped out on the rest, which I was kind of upset about because it did make a bigger run than I wasn't a part of. But I got the move that I was looking for on 2,000 shares. Really good trade, and I'll take it all day long.
Until then, bored, right? I mean, that's the problem with long-term trades. I love activity, but, you know, I believe that I'm right about the story here, so just waiting for the company to announce some sort of contract. I think the next piece of news...
All right, I'm back in it. 35.48, looking for the 50-cent break, looking for VWAP break.
U.S. government, in a statement, says announced on April 30th had reached preliminary agreement with Brazil over steel and aluminum tariffs.
But, you know, it's a long-term trade. When you're playing for a news event...
U.S. negotiators
Stop
decided
loss
to
will be
enter
below
talks
59
over
right
steel
now.
and aluminum tariffs with Brazil on April 26th and keep tariffs.
So having a hard time with 35.60. All right, there's the break. Looking for VWAP break now.
It'll run up just like it did last time into the next iPhone release, which is this fall. So as summer comes around, we should start seeing this thing just naturally trend up into the 30s.
Brazil expects U.S.
Needs 70
still
to
expects
break.
U.S. to exempt Brazil from steel and aluminum import tariffs.
Liquid metal almost always runs into a new
Someone called out in the room NVIV, and I already knew it was on the gap scanner this morning. It was gapping up 12%.
There we go. There's a VWAP break.
Credit goes to, who was it?
Representatives for Brazil aluminum industry said they could withstand 10% tariffs.
Selling half at 35.95.
Usually it starts trending about 3 to 4 months ahead of the iPhone launch, because what happens is the media starts speculating on what the next phone's going to be, whether liquid metal will be used.
The steel industry said they would prefer import quotas to a 25% import tariff.
Stop on the rest is below 36 right now.
Guy 1577.
No, I don't see his name.
Simple
but
supply and demand, so the demand will start to grow as the phone comes around. Literally happens every single time.
Sorry, Sam.
But I
Just
think the real
couldn't
win here is
look at the
going
screen.
either way,
Yeah, it's
you know who you are,
MTCH.
called it out, so thank you. Good job.
lock a deal with some medical supply company.
All right. Oh, gosh. Stepped out the rest. Oh, the market maker flushed me. 35.97 on the rest.
Nice.
So this next play on AKRX is a news play. News comes out, a little bit of fraud or something like that. I come over here really quick, see that the stock hasn't moved at all. Off of this news, I go short. It doesn't really move like I thought it should, so I end up covering for a small win. 1,000 shares.
AKRX report circulated Acorn accused of submitting phony data to FDA on antibiotic drug. That's Alpha Kilo Romeo.
Negative news on AKRX. Fraud. I'm short at 1431.
President says probe tied to $4.3 billion deal uncovered fraud.
It's not really dropping as much as it should.
That's Alpha Kilo Romeo X-ray.
Alright, I'm
Shares of
covered.
Acorn.
+2. Alright, this next trade is one of the main reasons why I subscribe to chat rooms. You basically get your ear to the ground of what a few thousand people are going to do in their trades. So FLKS, for some reason, it didn't hit my scanners at all, and it was moving up, and it's a low float stock, and it has a history of big moves. So one of the chat rooms that I subscribe to mentions it. I pull it up and I start seeing people in the chat room. I mean, you can hear Ross, the leader of the chat room, talking about FLKS, but you can't see, you know, what people are typing in the chat room. They're all, you know, very much positive out of it. And, you know, the entry point I liked about it is you had this pop and then it pulled back and then, you know, candle over candle. I was inside of this candlestick right here. So this is what we kind of saw. None of this had happened yet. And you'll see that when I go live. So we're sitting right at the candle over candle. We also had, you know, 550 break again, and then high day break right above that, and then it could go on to the races. So a lot of resistance levels that were really close to start with that could break and make a pop. So when they started talking it up, I went long in the anticipation that they would also go long. I almost got out of it because you'll see in just a second, there's a lot of volume going through at 540 and it wasn't moving. It tells me there's a hidden buyer there or a hidden seller there, and I was about to get out. So what happens is it pops through 550, pops through high day, and immediately you see it was up at like I want to say like 570 or something like that, and immediately someone puts sell orders at like 540 and just drop this thing 30 cents. That's not what I want to see. I want to see, you know, the bid moving up and then the ask just disappearing, and people just started laying down, you know, their sell orders on the ask. And that was just, when I start seeing that, it's just a telltale sign for me to get out. And as you'll see, you know, I was right, because it did end up flushing out. Broke $5, came all the way down. It was just kind of a real ugly spike down. So got a nice win out of it though. And you know, you got to, when you're trading these stocks, you've got to be aware of the price action. And this price action was telling me probably need to get out.
RX uses submitting
FLKS. Let's see this one on the scanner.
Alright, short at 1393 on AKRX.
Was this halted on circuit breaker? Looks like it had a halt.
Based on that headline.
So, it's a pharmaceutical stock.
Chat room's watching FLKS.
Yeah, that's interesting. There might be something in there. High day right now is 65, so if it got back over the $0.50,
They're talking it up. I'm gonna go along 537.
or
That's
over
turned into
550.
that's turning
I'll put my
not
order
down
at
very much for
550,
that
ready to go.
line.
The volume is very light though. I didn't realize how light it is. Only 34,000 shares, so you have to be smaller on size. It's a little harder to trust.
A lot of volume went through on 540 and it didn't go.
Thought I had more
There we
volume
go.
than that. All right, partial fill at the $0.50 of 50. Target would be high a day over 65. So there's 70, 72.
Sold half at 555. Sold the rest
Only
at 550.
4,000 share order, not big size. High of day right now is 73.
Ooh, my gosh, it rejected that move. So at this point in the day, there was a few stocks that were popping up on my high of day low float scanner here, and I was flipping between the two or three, I can't remember. I didn't know which one to take. Chat rooms, I think 2 chat rooms I subscribed to actually started talking about WMLP. The reason why I went with this one is not only were they talking it up, but we had the 50-cent mark here, and a lot of people play the $0.50 break. So, or I think we're over here, yeah. Play the $0.50 break. So I get in when they start talking about it, looking just for the $0.50 break, and then it halts. So I got a nice move up in my entry, and out of the halt, I did well on it. So it was a nice win, but I'll show you the entry here.
SSKN, yeah. WMLP. Worth watching maybe for a scalp.
I'm long WMLP 138. Chat room's watching it.
Got a partial fill on WMLP. Only 1,400 shares.
It's gonna halt.
It's gonna be halted. So, you know,
Wow.
1,400 shares, not a lot.
Okay.
Probably only gonna be like a
What's
$200,
the
$300
float on
winner.
that thing? This next trade was on SSKN. I traded this while the other stock I was in was halted. This one, it was sitting right at the 150 mark, and it was just kind of a volume play. I was looking for the break of the $0.50. You know, it popped, pulled back, and then kind of candle over candle for the $0.50 break again. Looking for it to rip maybe high a day, especially since we just had a stock halted. And it's a 4 million share float, so it could really rip. It's a stock I've traded before, maybe like 2 years ago, so it's been a while. But it can make big moves, as you can kind of see here. I mean, it can make pretty monster moves. So that's why I was willing to trade it. But it was kind of a red flag that came into play while I was watching the stock. We got the break of 150. It popped up. Actually, a lot of volume was going through at 150, and it didn't break it. Then it broke it, popped up, and then immediately people started putting more sells at 150, and that's kind of a red flag to me. So when I saw that, and you'll see that on the L2, this has nothing to do with candlesticks. It was all on the L2 of why I got out for a loss, for small loss though. And it was just because if you're just watching the ask over here, you'll see we'll break that 150 level and get a little momentum coming in, volume coming in, and then immediately another stack of sells come in at 150, and it just couldn't break it. And I just wanted to get out, and you can kind of see it did flush out. So I think I got stopped out at 147, but it could have been way worse. I'm pretty sure it didn't do anything else the rest of the day. So, you know, this is the one moment, and these little signs that pop up, you got to, the more you trade, the more you watch these videos, the more you'll see these signs that are telltale signs of what the stock is about to do. It didn't move at all, so I'm not liking NSPR anymore. I mean, it doesn't mean it can't just rip today, but I don't like.
Long SSKN at $1.
I'm long SSKN $1.49.
The $0.50.
A lot of volume just started to come in here.
Coming up at 10:30.
So I'm long
Crude inventory is
SSKN,
$739,000
$1.50. You can see some
plus
volume coming in.
$739,000 expected.
Want to see
Distillates
it break
minus
$1.50, and then the next level is
$1.6 million,
$1.65,
and gasoline inventory is minus $587,000 expected.
All right, I'm
Talon
out.
defending
147
ESPR
minus 2.
Experian,
I don't like how there's
defending
a
shares as
crap
we
ton of
think the
volume coming in
magnitude
at
of the move is
$1.50 on
overdone. Data
SSKN,
presented
and it
suggests
didn't
the
go
top
anywhere. So
line is
that's a
fine.
big
However,
sign
management
that
did a
there's
poor job
a hidden seller there,
communicating details of the
and I just don't want
imbalances.
anything to do with that. It could rip
Again,
without me.
that
It could
defense
go
coming
higher,
now
but
from
that's a
Talon.
big red sign. CCCR is the next play. This one was a news play, and you'll hear me say that I see the news, and then you'll hear the news. Well, it's because I have two news sources, and one of them it's more print oriented. They do have a squawk, but I don't really use their squawk. I use just the print news, and I saw the print news before I heard the squawk from Benzinga, so that's why I was able to get in this one so early. It was just one news source was faster than the other. That happens quite often, so that's why I have two. And if I find in the future a news source that's faster than these two, I will subscribe to that one because I make a crap ton of money on news. So anyway, CCCR stock I've traded before. It's usually a stock that'll move when China stocks are moving, but this one had news, 20 million share float. I went long. I actually took double position because I was in so early, and got a quick pop. And you'll watch the L2, right? It pops up and then immediately goes 100% all the way back down until another bid comes up to like 118. That's a red flag. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see immediate sell off 100% of when news is hitting. I want to see that bid just parabolically move up. So that was red flag number one. So when I saw that, I immediately wanted to sell half my shares, which was 2,000 shares, for some profit up in here, up near 120. That 10-cent mark resistance level. 120, 130, 140, 10-cent marks. They're minor resistances. After that, I wasn't looking to hit home runs for this anymore. I just felt it was heavy, and I was gonna let the second half ride a little bit, maybe break 120, 125, somewhere in there. But then again, you're watching the L2, and that's why I do these videos, because you would not have seen this just watching candlestick videos. This was L2. I saw a lot of sell orders on the ask on the L2. When I saw that, time to get out. That's exactly what I was fearful of.
$1.50.
CCCR news. Launches luxury car rental business, envisioning to build China's high-end car rental platform and appoint senior executives. I'm long at 115.
CCCR, China Commercial Credit, getting a pop here, $1.19 on volume.
But
Company
NSPR,
launching
if it breaks
luxury car
over
business
$1.50.
in China. That's Charlie, Romeo.
Sold half of 118, just locking some juicy profit. See if we get a second pulse or not. All right, I see a lot of sellers on the ask, so I'm out the rest, 120. So back to WMLP. This one was in a halt. I had bought, and it just took off, halted, and now we're playing it out of the halt. So the reason why I sold where I did, and out of the halt, you'll see me, I sell in the 150 area, right? So the reason why I do that is because I was looking at the daily chart, and the daily chart told me that every time there was a pop, the range that it gets, and it has frequently popped, the range that it typically does is about 50 to 60 cents, from the lows to the high. Well, today's low was like $1, somewhere in there. So anything above 50 is, golden. So, that's the range. We're already in that range of the recent pops. Like this one over here, this is like a 60 to 70 cent pop. So, 50 to 70 cents, is the target That's how I got my target out of this. I sold, pulled back, and then this could have been another nice entry. I did not take it for the here's the pop, and this is all the pop here, including this red candle. This is the pop. This is a pullback candle, and then candle over candle. This right here would have been a nice entry for a secondary move, but nonetheless, it was a nice win, and I'm totally fine with leaving some on the table because as you can see, it just really kind of didn't do anything after that. Just look at a 6-month chart, daily chart,
NSPR,
and you can kind of see that
not able to break the half dollar.
most of these pops, let's see, the low is the most you're getting out of these pops is 40 cents, I want to say 40 to 50 cents, and it always gives it back. All right, there's the open. Wow.
Oh, there it goes.
WMLP,
Okay.
Westmoreland Resource
So I'm
Partners,
out
Whiskey Michael Lima
155
Papa, is resuming trading
WMLP.
now.
Oh, stopped out with $86 of profit. So,
Now
I
at
think with that, I
$1.41,
might say
relatively
So
lightly
time to
I
call
sold
it a
there.
day.
If you look at
That
the
was
day's
kind of a
lows,
nice
107,
whiskey
days
trade.
highs, 160.
SSKN was a
That's
loss.
basically 50
NSPR
cents.
didn't
That's
really work. So
I am assuming the
you know
top of
what?
its range.
maybe
I sold because of that. And
Maybe the
there you go.
action's
It's
kind of
selling
over
off
for
out of
right
the hold there. So this next play is GMPX. GMPX recently has just made some monstrous moves. Today it went from a low of $12.37 to a high of almost $16 in the first hour of trading. So a lot of times, these stocks, you've only got one set of eyeballs and one hand on the mouse and two hands on the keyboard, right? You can't watch the entire market. So sometimes stocks will move without. All the time stocks will move without you, and you can't just like jump into them if they're running and think that they're going to go higher. If you miss the initial pop, you've got to wait for a pullback and get to give you an entry. And I'm telling you that little piece of information right there, waiting for a pullback and then waiting for an entry, is like when I flipped the switch in my trading career from losing money to making money. A lot of times a new trader, they'll see this, like, oh, I just got to jump in. Yeah, occasionally they'll get lucky and it'll go higher and higher and higher, but a lot of times they'll buy and it'll just flush them out, sell out, and they'll lose a ton of money or become a bag holder. Back in I missed this run up here. This is the 1 minute chart. This is the 5 minute chart. I missed all this, which is completely fine. I'm going to wait for a pullback, and that's happened here on the 5 minute chart. Pullback, and I wait for the first 5 minute candle over candle, and that happened right here. Inside this candle, we broke, and it coincided with basically the whole dollar break too. So we had two things going for us for a nice pop. I get the pop, I sell half, and I get to play around with the other half. I want to see this thing make that next stair step up, right, that we talked about. So I sell half just to lock in profit, and then I have 1,000 shares left just to play with, and it doesn't get going like it should. And then again, it's a trend happening today, but you'll see a big seller show up on the ask, and when I see that, I've got to sell. There's too much supply and not enough demand. I'm out. And it was a good decision. It really didn't do much after that. It did flush out inside the same candle, which I'm glad I wasn't a part of. But and again, I didn't even have my eye on this one. Ross with Warrior Trading called this one out. I pulled it up. I really like the chart. This is like perfect 5 minute setup here. Pop, pullback, candle over candle, continuation. The only thing that would have been better had it not just had like a kind of a false break. This is what we call a false breakout, where the setup is perfect, it pops, it doesn't go anywhere, and then sells off. That's a false breakout. So you have to be really quick on your exits when it. Ideally, this would have gone. This candle would have looked a lot like this one, but like up here. Another $1.50 run, but it didn't work out that way. So kind of double topped here with these two candles, and it kind of sold off.
Way to
First
$250.
5 minute candle to make it high.
That report
On this
now
setup,
from
I would
Citron
start with smaller
GMPX
size,
5 minute play.
add over 15-20. and add again over 1550 with a target of high of day.
I'm long 1496.
Long at 15 on GNPX for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high, as you can see right here. So like I said, starter at 15, adding would be over 1520 and 1550 on GNPX.
Sold half
We
1510.
want to see that 5-minute candle make the new high, curl up.
I want to see volume or I'm out the rest.
So 1550 would be the
NFLX,
next spot.
Netflix, November Foxtrot,
I do
Lima
see a seller
X-ray.
at 23.
Big
Getting
seller
the highs
at 1523, so I'm out the
316.76 now.
rest.
That's NFLX,
1510.
Netflix.
And that's how I finished the first hour of trading, up $1,900. I did trade the rest of the day. I did give quite a bit back, actually. I finished the day up around $1,250. So I gave, about $650 back, so I'm not too proud of that. It was a little rough on a couple trades, but, just because I gave a little back doesn't mean it was a bad day, right? I mean, finishing the day up $1,250, still excellent. So anyway, if you're interested in my free Discord trading chat room, link for that is in the description down below. I'm here to answer questions. If you have any questions, leave a comment in the video. Share the video if you found it helpful. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.